Biden is visiting Green Bay tomorrow. The visit marks the launch of the Seniors for Biden-Harris campaign. The White House says it will highlight their support for issues important to those over the age of 65. In Your Voice, Your Vote coverage, Emily Riley joins us now with what we know so far about tomorrow's stop. Emily.
The First Lady's visit here follows her February trip to the Rail Yard Innovation District to discuss youth apprenticeships. On Thursday, she'll kick off President Biden's outreach to older voters. The overall campaign effort includes non-traditional events like bingo and pickleball. The administration says the goal is to motivate older voters heading into November. A retired Social Security employee from Howard emphasized the significance of the demographics vote.
A lot of people worry about the future of Social Security and how long it's going to be solvent. He has a plan to increase the maximum earnings for Social Security tax to $400,000. That would certainly shore up a lot of the deficiencies in Social Security.
The Democratic Party of Wisconsin Chair Ben Wickler said in a statement, in part quote, "While Republicans push for devastating cuts to Social Security and Medicare and threaten to privatize hard-earned benefits, the Biden-Harris administration is fighting to protect and strengthen these essential programs and ensure that all Americans can retire with dignity," end quote. Republican candidate for Wisconsin's 8th congressional district, Senator Andre Jacques, responded to the anticipated campaign event in a statement saying, in part quote, "No amount of lip service to seniors by the Biden campaign can change the fact that it is his policies that have caused the runaway inflation eating into their life savings, his spending and bureaucratic expansion that have put his Medicare and Social Security at risk," end quote. Meanwhile, former president and current presidential candidate Donald Trump will campaign at Racine Festival Park on June 18th. Campaign officials say the presumptive Republican presidential nominee will deliver remarks on, quote, Joe Biden's failed presidency, unquote. A Marquette Law School poll in May found voters split evenly between Trump and Biden. In Green Bay, Emily Riley, Action 2 News.